Hey everybody, it's Sally. I just thought I came back from walking the dog and I'd do a body shot. I don't have a lot of specific things to say today, sort of rambling, so I just thought this is what I do. I try to keep my spirits up by, like, not so much lately, but I get dressed and I take the dog for a walk while it's not too hot to do such a thing. Oops, let me sit down. So the dog back from the walk, I wear the hat to protect my face. Of course, then my hair's a total loss. And the sunglasses to protect my eyes. There. Good morning, everybody. It's been a while since I made a real video on my own channel. I'm going to tell you the truth. In walking and my mind clears, I realize how scattered my brain is. Even after the wedding, where everything was wonderful and beautiful, but hot as Hades. Um, and I did have a meltdown or two, but I did them out of sight, so people weren't affected by them. Um, I think it was just too hot for me, and then working out in the sun and the heat just does me in. So at one moment I sort of disappeared, had a little mini meltdown. Was rescued by some older ladies in the commune, the community, intentional living community. They have a building of their very own that's very clean and pristine and quiet and calm. And my daughter was staying there for the weekend, and I found my way back to them, and they welcomed me with open arms and let me take a nice cool shower, and life was wonderful again. And then we carried on with the wedding. So anyway, the time crunch is happening, and I find more and more that um, I try to block it out of my mind. Not, I get overwhelmed if I think about it. The things, a lot of things are done. It isn't like things aren't done. The wedding's done, the surgery's done, the visas are almost done, the paperwork's done, the car paperwork is finally done, and we're hoping it's going to make it on the boat in time so there's not another month beyond that I don't get to have a car. Um, but in the meantime, I just wanted to stop and say I am floored by the number of people who have come and subbed to me since I put that little thing up about reaching my thousandth member, or hoping to reach my thousandth member, kind of thing. And I don't know what that's due to, but I'm very glad that you're here. Let me just do a little recap since my life is getting ready to take a big shift. For those who don't know, I'm Sally Wimberly. Cabernet Queen was the name I came up with when I started this process, and could figure out how to create a page like this, a Facebook page, a YouTube page. Oh my God. The brain is not firing on all cylinders. Um, and that has been, my surgery was November 2009. And since then, I've lost 120 pounds. I've kept it off very well, I might say, pat myself on the back. Um, I'm not a perfect person. I, but I have totally changed the way I eat, the way I am about food. And that I know in my heart of hearts is the key to my long-term success. For some magical reason, it all clicked with me. And the fact that I didn't do well with animal meat protein sources in the beginning of my surgery, and I had to find other alternative options for myself, which ended up being lentils, as most of you will attest. Um, that rebuilding my whole world around whole, healthy, green eating, um, cooking from scratch, lots of vegetables, some fruit, um, and I do eat meat on occasion. Now, when I feel like a piece of meat, I have a piece of meat. It's not I don't have a thing against people eating meat. I just couldn't digest it, and I still don't go to it as my first choice of protein. And when you take meat out of the equation, you take away that link to that staple in the standard American diet, which is called the SAD diet for a reason, people. We're one of the sickest countries in the world because of all the health issues and food and obesity related issues. And a lot of that's to do with the bad stuff we've been feeding ourselves because it's been promoted by lobbyists, the federal government, subsidies, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fast food. Um, so we're in the shape we're in because we don't eat a simple, natural approach to food. I and I have done that, and I have embraced it to the point where, like I said, if you take the meat off of the plate, every day you picture that chunk of meat with the other things around it. Well, with R&Y, they say eat that meat, and don't matter if you got no chunk other stuff around it. And my philosophy was I want balance, so I eat a different way. I eat um, not total vegetarian, but a lot of vegetables. I eat my protein sources from lentils or legumes or other things like that generally. Greek yogurt, cheese, not a lot of eggs, but I eat eggs, but mostly other ways. Protein bar and a shake on occasion. I hadn't done shakes in forever, but at the meet and greet I got some little box shake taste samples and I really liked it. So now I'm trying to incorporate more purposeful protein for myself for my long-term health. So I'm having like a 30-gram protein shake a day for 167 calories. I put it in my little mini, what do you call that mini blender thing? Everybody's got one of those. With some ice and I whir it up and boom, it's like a milkshake to me. And then I also eat pure protein peanut butter chocolate protein bars. I usually do that when I'm walking the dog and that's my breakfast. So that's 50 grams of protein between those two things and a total of 200 for the bar, 167 for the shake. So you got it, 367 calories, and I have reached almost all the protein I take in for the day, except I always eat lentils every day, and there's a good 20 grams of protein in the lentils I eat. A big blob of Greek yogurt on top, more protein. And I always, for dessert, if I'm going to have dessert at night, when I'm being really uber good, and I'm very satisfied with it, is I always have a bowl of Greek yogurt. So that's it. I would say, and on top of those things, what do I eat? Well, yesterday I had Rocky Berrigan made an awesome recipe with green beans and some feta and some turkey bacon and that kind of stuff. And I love that. I also do a lot of massaged kale salad, which there's a recipe here for that, and there's a recipe for my kales here on my channel. Um, and I cook a big pot in my pressure cooker, which is my other thing. I love my pressure cooker. If you've never had one, don't be afraid. Explore the options. I can't tell you how much I love my pressure cooker, or two, or three that I now have. I cook a big vat of dry white beans. I have a big bowl of those in the thing in the freezer. I pull things out, leave them in the fridge. I throw those in my Greeks in my salad. Um, it's that kind of thing. So that's the way I eat, and I don't regain. I mean, then if I have a treat or if I have a drink, those extra calories aren't the death of me. And I'm very careful. It's not that I don't like chocolate because I do, and I do get little chocolate chips, and I do eat some peanut butter occasionally, on stuff. I get on my little benders with things. But as long as I don't see that it's making me fall off the deep end, I allow myself that. I am in maintenance. When I was fighting to get somewhere to whatever goal that was, I was really a purist. 97% of that year that it took me to get the weight off, or the year and a half. If you count the time leading up to surgery when they make you try to lose 5% of your body weight, which was 13 pounds, which was near impossible in my own flesh. I did right, but my body did not let it go. My body let go of the weight. I made that 13 pounds, and then they put me on the liquid diet the week before surgery. They wanted me to do 2 weeks before, and I kind of did that with, a salad here, a little cottage cheese there, and lost another few pounds that week. And then, so if you count that year, it's more than a year. So anyway, I heartily recommend that people read Dr. Garth Davis online. He has the Davis Clinic. He has brilliant writings about. He's a bariatric surgeon. He's a premier bariatric surgeon, and yet he promotes the non-animal, eat lean, eat green, eat clean lifestyle for RNY and everybody else. So you don't have to be afraid and fixated. One thing I have to say about the way I eat is I have never been constipated the whole time I had surgery. Now, I'm sure that band people don't have the same issues. I don't think they do. But RNY people most definitely, I think, have issues with that. Well, maybe everybody's, but I have not had issues. It's because lentils are uber high in fiber, uber high in protein, um, and other phytonutrients, other nutrients. That is a superfood. So that is, I love them, and I've never gotten sick of them, and I crave them when I don't have them. It's my little addiction. Um, I don't eat them as soup. I eat them as thick. Okay, so anyway, here I've gone 9 minutes talking about nothing as usual. But for those who don't know me, that's me. Now, my life is getting ready to, oh, I'm also 54. 54 and a half. Do I look 54 and a half? All right, don't answer that question. Y'all know I'm just fishing. You know how bad I am. Um, I have also had 2 sets of plastic surgeries in the last year. After losing the weight, um, I had plastic surgery. For those who do not know, which I expect everybody who already knows this, I had lower body lift. I had my breast augmentation and lift. I never had boobs in my whole life. Now I have them. it's a wondrous thing to have breast. I mean, literally, I never had breast. Then recently, oh, and I had a CO2 laser treatment done to my face at the same time in September. I will say that changed my texture of my skin tremendously. It was a little scary to watch, and it happened, not happened, but after the fact. As you can see if you look at my videos, it didn't hurt. It just was freaky scary looking. It did retexturize my skin. It took away all my crow's feet, which was just a miraculous thing that I wanted more than anything. And then I decided to go back later and do my arms, which I've done now. Not that they had that much skin, but they did have some. And so I had my arms done, and I have to work on those. I have not pumped them up. I haven't done any body work in a while. Arms, inner thighs were done. Um, and, you know, ask me in a year. It's fine. I just did them on the last minute as a spur of the moment thing. And I had upper eyelid, lower eyelid, and neck done. So I'm done. I'm getting ready to start my new life, which will be my adventures living in England, which starts the end of June. June 26th, we fly away. In the meantime, of course, my mind is the computer that never stops. And of course, the spring, most people know I had about a bazillion things on my plate that were major and mega and life altering, like more surgery 2 months ago, a daughter getting married, a trip to Vegas, the meet and greet, and whatever, whatever. And now the clock is tick, 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 tick for the move. So, um, that's kind of where I'm at. But my plan is to either have a blog, which is a written form of a vlog. Duh, y'all know what a blog is. If I can be disciplined enough to do it, my typing is crappy, my handwriting's crappy, but I really sometimes want to reflect that way. But I really want to do a special vlog series that's all about just Sally Does the UK. I haven't figured out a good name. If anybody's got any really cute, catchy names, the Cabernet Queen thing does not have to be a part of it. I'm thinking about changing that. I think that throws people off about what my channel's about. Um, and what is your channel about, Sally? Do these people who you think don't know who you are already? For the new people who might want to be checking me out, oh my God, this is 12 minutes long. My channel was about self-exploration, self-expression, coming to grips with all the emotional, psychological stuff you go through when you're losing weight, the dysmorphia, the questioning, when you hit a stall, when you hit a plateau, how far to drive yourself, are you good with where you are, blah, blah, blah. That was from Rosemary. I sent her a photo to earlier. She just sent me a note. So I that's what I've been doing. And I'm a middle-aged woman who's gone through menopause too. At the same time I had the surgery. I mean, everything in my life has changed and shifted. And I'm hoping for another major shift when we move to England for a couple years, um, in my marriage, quite honestly, because the 5 years of my mother-in-law living here about tanked the marriage completely, which led to me having a breakdown, which led to me going on meds, which led to the 20, 30-pound weight gain in like 2 weeks, which then led me to finally, ta-da, be heavy enough to qualify to go through the process at Kaiser to get an RNY. I spent my life in that no man's land in between. Not heavy enough, not thin enough. And I was just, I couldn't, anyway. So that all led to the good for me. All things work to the good. And now, since my mother-in-law passed last spring, Mother's Day last spring, that freed up our lives to improve, to change, to get to be our own again. Our daughters had both left the house to live their own lives. Then pretty much before mother-in-law was passing, the daughter from living out of state came home, was going to come home to teach here because she couldn't handle California anymore. She came home. Of course, life totally changes again when you have a person back in your home. Finally got to be us, didn't get to be us. In England, it's just gonna be us until my daughter comes to visit the whole month of August. So anyway, we won't even be in our house yet. We'll be in temporary housing. That's my life. Um, you guys know that I will not miss you because you will be in my life every bit as much as you are now. More so because I'm really going to be leaning into you when I'm feeling the angst and feeling homesick. I'll be talking your ear off and processing a hell of a lot more than I've had to process in the last, 9 months. So, love to you guys. I'm Sally Curtis Wimberly on Facebook. If you want to follow me there, send me a note that says, I watch you on YouTube. because I get list and list, and then it gets so I never see anybody I know. When you know what it's like when you get 5,000. Well, I don't have 5,000 people on Facebook, but you know what I mean. Just tell me we met in Vegas. I watched your channel, whatever. So that's it. I love you guys. That's it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.